Greetings and welcome. My name is Jake Rayson. I am a wildlife and food forest garden designer, and this is just a very quick little tour of the Max wildlife food forest garden project that I'm doing. It's a small 7 meter by 3 meter garden, and this is when I was on site. I was just going through the different parts of the garden and explaining which plants to put roughly and why. And here you can see the actual plan that I've created in CAD, and the PDF is available online as well, and that gives you kind of an idea. So I'm just going to be, this is a little introduction to the walk around in the garden. Okay, thank you. Max project, east facing wall. This is pretty high. This is what, 6 meters or 7 meters tall? I don't know, but very big. And coming down into the garden, and the idea is to have a plum on a decent sized rootstock, which will be growing to, will be trained, espalier trained to 2 meters along here, along this wall. There is also, the idea is to grow a climber which is coming off of there, and then train that climber horizontally across there, if possible, maybe not, going along there and then up, and then this space here has an espalier tree. Now, I did think about putting in a climber as well, possibly just in the corner. Oh, that would work, yeah. So climber in the corner, and then that can be trained up, if possibly up above the plum, up around here. So you've got a plum espalier on a colt rootstock on this part, and then we have a wiggly wobbly path comes in. There's initial seating area. This is your kind of the coffee area. There's a bed here, a shrub, which is kind of providing some shielding here, possibly another shrub there. Looking at something like a 1.5 meter height, something along the lines of a blueberry kind of thing, or yeah. And then into the bed itself, into the seating area itself, there'll be just a small bed in here that will have enough nutrients for a climber. So the climber could come up. The idea is that you've got a climber coming up, is over on this side, so you have some scent. This doesn't get hardly any sun at all, so something that will work in shade, but also something possibly going up here and above the height of the height of the plum tree, and filling that middle space there, and then from that side you can grow a climber across if you felt brave enough. Okay, and then sitting down here, this is the view. So you've got a bush there. Oh, and there should be a bush here as well. Hold on, I've got to get the spade. And there's a bush in there, so that you have, when you're sat down here, there are 2 apple trees. So you've got 1 apple tree along that side, 1 apple tree along that side. Along the top, possibly talking about taking off the top of that fence along that line, and then growing a campanula or some tumbling plant in big tubs along the bottom, and they spill over and they cover up that top part up there. And then a climber on this corner here, and then training that climber up to that point from there. A shrub there, and then, yeah, as I said before, a blueberry or something here, possibly, I think actually another one, something there. So you've got a couple, so it's providing a little bit of screening. And then likewise down here, you want a shrub which is out a little bit, and then that's kind of protecting that seating area down there. And then that's a central kind of water feature there. Oh, out. Okay, and then out to the path. This will be, I don't know, 0.6, 0.9 meters wide, whatever, but make sure it's kind of the same width, and that you've got a curve going on with it. It comes around here. There is an access point into here for pruning the apple trees, and for accessing this bed, and for accessing this bed here. And then there's a climber on the end there. And then coming back out there, this is the water feature. Now, there's different ways of doing it. Stone or like I think some sort of structure with a water bowl around about 60, 70 centimetres diameter on the top. And that's like a focal feature. But then like a big plant, something along here, there's climber, and then a climber going that way and and along there, but also something kind of coming up here about 1.5 meters, 1-2 plants possibly in this space, probably there actually, to be honest, on the corner, and then one here, but just to break that line of view up there. And then coming up to this point, I think gabion or stone pile, and then water bowl on top. Apple tree bed. This gets quite a bit of sun early on in the morning. That's the sunniest spot. The sun comes around, that gets sun until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whereas this corner here doesn't actually get that much sun, but use it as an advantage. Bed comes around, two apple trees in this part, and then a climber up here providing shelter here, and then maybe this will need to be kind of moved out to 2 meters, shift things over a little bit. So you've got like thin, narrow beds, but you're putting plants in which are quite upright and which will provide some protection. And then here that's a 60 centimetre drop in the corner, and this area filled with hardcore, and then the path surface on top of that. Then plants, well, I've got a whole list of plants like woodland plants, native plants, edible plants, wild garlic, wood anemones, possibly the purple thing, purple loosestrife. Yes, so there we go, that's that. I'll get some shots from the top as well.